Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jeffrey Kunde. I am the author of Progressions Classics and the co-founder of the Guitar Institute, and I wanted to welcome you to this video series which is going to help you use Progressions Classics, the book series, even better. My job throughout this video series is to help you get the most out of this 3-book bundle and to help you put into application each of these chords and progressions that are inside the books. In this video right now, I just want to go over some of the basics of the way that it's written, the way that the books are laid out, so that you can not be confused right when you crack open the chord books that you have in front of you. So first of all, I want to talk to you about why I laid it out the way that I did. So if you open up, let's say to open up volume 3, I'm going to be working within volume 3, page 29 and page 30. So that's going to be A major standard shapes, and that's going to be the chord progression 1, 4, 6, 5. Now I want to explain everything on this page, or sorry, these 2 pages, because that will allow you to be more familiar with the rest of the book and help you use the whole book. Because if you look through all these pages look similar, right? You have on the left, you have your standard shapes, and on the right, you have your alternate shapes. And basically the idea here is you're getting 10 different ways to play this chord progression in the key of A major, just on page 29 and 30 again of volume 1. So on the left, you'll see it's listed out position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, and position 5 on standard shapes. And then on the right, again, position 1 through 5 with alternate shapes. I'm going to dive into that in a second. First, let's just talk about what 1, 4, 6, 5 means, in case you don't already know. If you do already know, skip ahead about a minute in this video and continue on. But what that means is that inside of a key signature, we have certain chords that belong. And using the natural number system, which is another book that we sell, it's called Music Theory for the Music Industry if you don't already have it, but it explains how to take chords that are common inside of a key signature, they're called diatonic chords, and to put numbers to them and to start referring to chords as numbers within chord progressions, because that's really the standard of modern music theory. If you ever walk into a studio, if you ever go to a professional environment, or even churches a lot of times are using them, or modern bands are using them, you'll hear chord progressions referred to as numbers. And that's what this book is talking about when it says 1, 4, 6, 5. It means the progression, the chords within that particular key signature. So let me quickly explain what that means. So in the key of A, you have a A major scale that the chords are based around. So A major, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the octave 8. So each of those chords that you see on this page are built off of a starting note of one of those scale degrees. So the 1 chord is going to start on the first note of the scale, right? And that's going to be the A major chord. The 2 chord is going to start on the second note of the scale, and it's going to be a minor chord. The 3 chord is going to be a minor chord, and that's going to start on the third note of the scale, and so on and so forth. So in this case, on page 29, we have A major standard shapes. The progression is 1, 4, 6, 5. So it's going to be a chord starting on the first note of the scale, and then a chord starting on the 4th note of the scale, which is going to be the D major chord. And then we have a 6th chord, which is going to be the 6th note of the scale. It's going to be the F sharp, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have an F sharp right there. And that's going to be the minor 6th chord that's built off of the F sharp note. And then we have the 5 chord, which is going to be, again, the 5th note of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's going to be our E major chord. So that's what it means when you see the Roman numerals 1, 4, 6, 5. And you'll notice on each of these pages that some of the Roman numerals are capitalized, some are in lowercase, and that indicates whether or not the chord is major or minor. So capital Roman numerals always mean major chord. Smaller, non-capitalized Roman numerals, lowercase Roman numerals, are going to signify minor chords. Okay, Next, let's talk about this mysterious word called positions that's on these pages. So positions in this case doesn't refer to like a zone on the neck. Some guitar is taught where you have this is referred to as a specific position. This is referred to as a specific position. And next, the neck is broken up into blocks. I don't teach guitar that way. We don't teach guitar that way very often here at the Guitar Institute. We center most of our teaching around the caged positions, which if you don't know what the caged positions are, we also have resources on our website explaining that and going over that. It's a really, really powerful tool to understanding the entire guitar neck and to really be able to do anything anywhere you want on the guitar neck and always have a roadmap for it. It's super simple, but I'm not going to go heavy into that right now. I just want to let you know that those positions words refer to the caged position of the starting chord. So for instance, page 29, A major, you'll see at the top of that page, to the top left of that page, we have the A major chord shaped like this. Now, if you know your cage positions, or even if you don't, a little hint towards it is that this shape of a chord, that very common power chord, right? A very common barred chord that you probably learned, right, when you played guitar, is actually called a position 1 shape. So if I were to play a position 1 shape right here, that's still position 1. It's just a different chord, right? That is a C sharp chord. If I were to play position 1 shape right here, that's a G major chord using position 1. Now, moving down the page, let's look at position 4. You have position 4 A major chord down on the page on page 29. It's an A major chord in that standard A major chord shape that you've always learned, right? Now, if I want to play a position 4, let's say another chord, like a position 4 D major chord, I can play that position 4 D major chord right here. See, it uses the same hand shape, it's just at a different spot on the neck. D major chord in position 4 shape. So think of the positions is almost synonymous with the word shape, not position on the neck. Hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, again, check out our resources on the cage system at theguitarinstitute.com. Or sorry, guitarinstitute.co. Moving right along, I just want to quickly mention that there is fret numbers laid out. So on the left side of every chord diagram, you'll see where to put your fingers. So again, back at position 1, the top left of page 29, you'll see that you're supposed to build this A chord on the 5th fret. So the first dot is on the 5th fret, and then moving up from there, we're able to find our fingering. And then the last thing that I'll mention is every time that you see a loop around some of the dots, and that signifies barring the chord with your index finger. If you're not familiar with that, let me just go over that real quick. So again, look at position 1 on the top of left of your page 29. You're going to see that there's a loop around that chord, or sorry, those 3 dots that you see first on fret 5. And that means to bar down your index finger. That also can be where you don't have to bar the entire chord. For instance, on the top left of the next page, page 30, you'll see there's just 2 notes barred, and that is on that A chord on that alternate position. So top left, position 1, page 30, you'll see index chord bars those first 2 notes, and then these 2 are fretted. And then the other thing to notice is that all over this book you'll see certain strings X'd out, and that is signified by the little X at the top of the chord diagram. So position 1, that A chord on page 30, the top left, you'll see the 2 strings E string and A string are X'd out, meaning don't play those strings when you strum the chord. So you can do that either by just accurately starting your strum on the D string, even trying to mute those strings maybe lightly with your thumb so that you can give this guitar a more full-bodied strum and be less accurate with your right hand. It's up to you, but certainly don't play the strings that are X'd out, so take notice of those X's. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.